top here, as you can see, we have a green blinking light on the battery system. What that means is that the truck is inductively charging the power load and the structure as well. If you see the green light turn amber, that means that the battery life on the cot itself is under 25%, and that's how it's suggested that you either swap the battery or you charge it with the wall mount. Everything that's red is an activation point. If it's red, it does something. So to pull the system out, you gotta press down on the red tongue right here. Give it a gentle pull, and as you can see, it jogs the system up on its own. So that lets you know that the power load is activated. It is working properly. When you pull the cot out, you'll get the green LED lights at the front end right there. What that means is that you fully extended the cot and you're able to lower the system down. So on the lift bars here, on the foot end of the cot, you have a positive and negative button, as well as a manual eject, as well as the eject button at the top there. So when you're hitting the plus button, you're extending the leg. You'll hear a change in tone. That's the arms of the power load coming down. You can let go of the button. If you keep pressing it down, it's just going to add more strain onto the system, and it's going to kill the battery a little bit quicker. So once you hear the change in tone, you can let go, and then you're going to hit the eject button here. When you press the button, the lights up front will turn amber, and you can pull the system out. Okay, we're just lifting the arms, trying to maneuver the trolley back and forth. And there's your amber lights. So that's letting you know nothing's locked in, it's ready to be loaded up. Both wheels at the foot end. The system here is the an X frame, so that's newer. And then there's the hydraulic wires down the bottom. So if you do ever have a leak in the hydraulic wires, it's nothing more than a vegetable oil. It's nothing that's really dangerous. It's safe, but again, if you see any leaks like that, you want to let myself know or the service tech know right away, so that they can come out and fix it. So we'll start at the foot end here and go all the way up. So as I mentioned to you, the lift bars right here, you have two separate levels for your shorter and taller crew members. Your positive and negative. So the positive expands, the negative button retracts. When you're loading it into the system, it will take some getting used to, because mentally you're like, minus is when to lift the legs up, not the plus button. This is your battery system here. You just hit the red button to pull it out, and it's a zero memory battery. So what that means is typically like the old DeWalt batteries. When you put them on the charger, it drains the battery and charges it fully. So what this does is, say this is 50% charged, you throw it on the charger, it's going to top it off. It's not going to drain it, and so it's going to prevent. It actually makes for a little bit more of a healthy battery cycle. Here's your transposition here. So you guys have the knee gauge as well. Again, everything that's red is an activation point. So pull that down. Just put it right down like that. As well, so this is like a 3-stage, goes up pretty high, and you can just fold that down as well. So moving to the side, these are your XBS wings, and these are going to be for your bariatric patients. Not necessarily your bariatric patients, but your wider patients that do not exceed, the 700-pound capacity, but are 50 inches wide, shorter and wider. It's a negative movement, so you have to push it in to drop the wings. When you have the person transferred on, it's got 7 locking levels. You can hear it click, and you just put them into their comfort level. At the head ends, actually I'll put on the restraints for at the head end, you have your O2 tank at the power, and your equipment hook here as well. So that's going to be for your defibrillator monitors, anything like that. It hooks in nicely. Your head end storage flat, this has got a 40-pound capacity, and it folds in as well. So some of the old stretchers used to fold down. This just kind of goes in, and then you can pull it out. So when you're going into the power load, definitely want to make sure this is locked out. Otherwise it will not load properly. And it will fold go in. And then lastly, I just want to point out the pins here. So what the pins here, the whole design of the power load is you're lining up the pins with the track system on the trolley. So that is the goal. And that's really the only work you have to do when you're getting it in. So right now we'll do we'll load you in. Okay, so we have the pins on the top of the trolley. You got your green light indicating that it's safe to load the patient. And you're gonna hit the minus button to retract the legs. So you're just holding that in, the arms are coming up, system's up, and then you can just push it in like a fire extinguisher. And again, I like to give it a good tug, so you're locked in. This is Triple K compliant for crash testing. Now what I'll show you is some of the capabilities on the power load itself. If you're in a case where you're at some type of slope, anything like that, you have 3 buttons over on the power load. You have the power button, which is all the way to the left, your up-down arrows, and the button all the way to the right is the manual release button. So if you're ever on a terrain right here and you want to manipulate an angle, you can do that. Again, if you're at an extreme slope, anything like that, the best practice is to move the truck to be into a safe environment. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the power load, and I can go over the manual override for you as well. With the power load, if somebody kicks off the button, and then they say, "Oh, it's not working," and you say, "Oh, well."
Where's that button?
All the way to the left.
All the way to the left.
Yep. So what I've done is powered everything down. So we'll say you're with a patient, you're trying to get them out of the ambulance. There's no power. You have your manual release button right here. So that's going to lower the legs. Obviously, always lower the legs first. Okay, and then as I mentioned before, the manual release on the power load itself, the button all the way to the right. So with this, you're holding that in, and it does have some tension because you're releasing the hydraulic fluid. So you've dropped the cot down to the ground right now, and now you're going to have to manually pull the arms down while pressing in the manual release button. So right now I'm pulling down the arms. There is a bit of tension because you're getting the hydraulic fluid out of the system, and then from here you have your manual release in the back. So there's these two right there. Okay, so now again we don't have any power to the systems. What you're going to do is lift the arms of the power load, lock it all in the back. So now this is locked in the back, and you would just manually, you use your J hook, and it will lock in, and it will still make the Triple K standard. So to release it, there's a red button back here. You press that, and you can bring the power load forward. And here's the tip. You always want to make sure that the bump is lifted. And then from here, turn the power back on, and we're ready to go.